everybody, welcome to The World This Week. And this week, we're going to take a special look at international tourism 2015, how this summer looks in a few spots that made headlines recently. We'll start off with an expert, Tom Hall, editorial director of Lonely Planet, who joins us from London. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
What's happening with places like Greece, for instance, after weeks of negative headlines?
Well, the situation in Greece changes every day, sometimes multiple times a day, but the impact is on the Greeks rather than on visitors. The Greeks are the ones dealing with the uncertainty, restrictions on ATM withdrawals and the ongoing crisis that's affecting the country. Visitors, overseas visitors, are not restricted in the amount of cash they can withdraw, and indeed away from Athens, life will largely be going on as normal. Visitors that are going are reporting this, that they're finding the usual warm welcome, occasional queues at some cash points, but not very long, and many visitors are taking the advice that's been given to carry cash in the form of euros and to use credit and debit cards. Of course, as a result of all of this, there are some really excellent deals to Greece, even in the summer peak season. So if people haven't booked a holiday yet, they actually could do a lot worse than go there. What are the main trends this summer when it comes to vacations? The trends that have been driving the travel industry for the last few years are still with us. There's a couple of twists on those as things evolve, particularly the economic situation. One of the things that's been a constant probably for the last 4 or 5 years has been the trend of people really looking to get as much value as they possibly can out of their holidays. This means that they might do more than one thing on a 1 or 2 week trip. They might time their trip to coincide with a major event or a festival, something like that. But we are seeing some signs of more affluent consumers driving growth at the top end of the market. There are plenty of new boutique hotels opening in various places around Europe and around the world, which is a sure sign that, that the travel industry is feeling quite confident. A couple of other things that are very much present right now. All-inclusive resorts have been opening in places like Turkey and Spain in great numbers over the last few years, and that's very much continuing as people look to cover all of their costs in one go. And also at the other end of the spectrum, sites like Airbnb, which allows you to stay in people's houses or in their spare rooms, really driving greater connections with local people and allowing you to have very authentic experiences when you're on the ground. That's growing hugely in popularity and not really showing any signs of slowing down either.
Well, I'm sure you have ranked the most popular destinations.
Well, the most popular destinations in the world are probably fairly predictable. So you've got big hitters in Europe, France, Spain, Italy. You have places like China and the United States are very strong domestic markets and increasing inbound tourism driving some of those. I think that a few places that have been bubbling under for a few years, Turkey and Germany both growing very, very much in popularity. And, you know, certainly a trend for people to explore those sort of dream destinations that might have seemed very much out of reach. So while the numbers of people going to Australia and New Zealand don't necessarily translate into putting it into the very top bracket for most travel destinations, they're certainly among the places that people aspire to visit the most.
Tom Hall, Lonely Planet in London. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
When we talk about turmoil in a tourist destination, we're talking first and foremost about Greece, one of the top destinations in the world. Greece attracted over 24 million tourists in 2014, which made almost 20% of its GDP. With us from Greece is Mr. Alexander Lamnidis, General Manager of the Greek Tourism Confederation. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, how are you these days in Athens, in Greece?
We started the year with excellent trends. We were going to actually beat the record of last year, which was 24 million tourists and 13.5 billion euros. Even as we are with the political instability that has been developing, especially over the last month, we are still, I mean, the latest numbers have come out, and we are 6.7% up compared to last year. We have had some issues with late bookings, especially since the referendum was announced. However, it seems that things are getting better, and we hope we'll be able to welcome more tourists in the coming months. As you well know, July and August are pretty important months. And therefore, we hope that we can overcome even the slightest of issues that we have had.
Yeah, I see that you're optimistic, but did you have many cancellations as a result of this crisis as soon as this happened?
Not really. Cancellations were not huge. They were within, I would say, statistical predictability. They have slightly increased over the past month, meaning the month of June. However, we already see the picture improving right after the agreement that was reached in Brussels just 2 or 3 days ago.
What was the direct financial damage to tourism as a result of the crisis, would you say?
For the time being, it seems that we will be managing, if you like, more or less the numbers we were expecting. I feel that we will be able to say how the season will be finishing towards end of August, when we have most of the year behind us. And we also know the exact behavior of late bookings right after the Brussels agreement.
Mm. Okay, what are the most popular destinations this season in Greece?
Well, right now, Santorini and Mykonos, as you might expect, are top. Santorini is plus 20% from the year before, which was already a record year. And certainly Athens is extremely popular this year, as we have a plus 20% arrivals in Athens alone.
Do tourists have anything to worry about with cash shortage or strikes or something like that?
It is, I would say, primarily psychological, meaning that if we go around Athens right now, there will be some 3 or 4 people waiting in a queue in front of an ATM. Tourists can actually withdraw the standard amounts that they can withdraw as per bank instructions. And as far as cards are concerned, credit cards, they are all accepted, and there isn't any major issue right now. Most of the issues actually rest with the Greek enterprises, that they cannot touch the money that appears on their accounts because of the fact that they cannot withdraw cash. But not as far as tourists are concerned.
Are you optimistic overall that Greece will come out of this crisis?
I would say that we are cautiously optimistic that we will manage, especially since the Greek Parliament is voting for the measures right now as we speak. Today it will be finished. So from then on, we can see some of the capital controls loosening gradually, therefore helping the sector of tourism, which is of key importance to the economy here. And we can only be optimistic from then on. Of course, we are cautiously optimistic because someone never knows what kind of accidents might develop. But on the other hand, we are working very hard to make sure that everyone is in line with the wishes of the tourism sector that is so important for the Greek economy. Let's not forget that tourism accounts for about 20% of GDP in Greece.
Yes. Thank you very much, and good luck.
I thank you very, very much.
More with Tourism 2015. Tunisia was voted by Lonely Planet as the best bargain destination to traveler this year. A great travel destination that was hit hard just recently when terrorists killed 38 people, most of them British tourists, in the coastal resort of Sousse. Mr. Heikel Akrut is the manager of Khayyam Gardens Hotel in Naboul, Tunisia. He's joining us from there. And I can only imagine, sir, what the latest attack in Sousse has done to tourism in your country.
You have no idea. What happened first time in March in Bardo, and then second time in Kantawi in Sousse, is really so hard for all the sector of tourism. But not only for tourism, for the whole economy of the country. So it's devastated what happened.
Especially since the target was foreign tourists, it is even harder to convince them now to come back. How do you do that?
Well, the objective of the terrorists is to give the message to the tourists not to come to Tunisia. How did they do it? They sent, first of all, in the Museum of Bardo, 2 killers. Kill the tourists and don't kill the Tunisian. Well, the second time they've done exactly the same in the hotel in Kantawi, and kill the tourists, don't kill the Tunisian. At the end of the day, they don't care to kill the Tunisian, but the message they want to bring to the foreigners is that they are the target. So by that way, they are terrified and they don't come.
What would you like to see done to make Tunisia safer?
Well, to be honest, what has been done now is what should been done months ago. Yeah, it should have been done before, because if we had these policemen in the hotel, for example in Sousse, you can be sure that the terrorists that started to kill the people would have been shot in a very short time, after a few minutes. But because there was no people armored to stop him, it took his time to kill a maximum. So this is what has been done, is what should have been done now. It's maybe a little bit late, but it's better late than never. Let me add the last thing. The kindness of the Tunisian, is absolutely unique.
And thank you very much for your kindness, and have fun over there at the beach. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How does Ukraine maintain its tourism business when it is practically in a war down south? That's the question to Yuri Lyashko, a tour guide from Kiev, who joins us from there.
Ukrainian tour companies trying to do their best in order to provide their international partners with the information about the very peaceful situation in Kiev. It's true that we have war in the eastern part of Ukraine, but the distance from Kiev to Donetsk or Lugansk is about 600 kilometers, and it's peaceful in Kiev, and people following their ordinary mode of life there, like enjoying their free time on summer terraces of the restaurants, and enjoying the very good boat trips over the Dnieper River. That's the third longest river in Europe. And it's peaceful and nice in Ukraine, and we ready to have more groups, more people coming to Ukraine, because now it's peace in Kiev.
In Kiev, but I'm sure something did happen to tourism since the Russian invasion.
Well, it's a kind of paradox, because when the tragic event happened in Maidan, in the main square of Kiev, known as the Independence Square, there were some groups still coming to Ukraine, to Kiev, that very day when the hostilities started in Maidan. I had my city tour with one of my groups, and I can understand it because hotels are pre-booked and everything is prepaid. But really things are getting better in Ukraine anyway.
Thank you very much. Yuri Lyashko in Kiev, a tour guide over there on tourism in Ukraine. This has been The World This Week. We'll see you here next Sunday. Have a great week.